This is my dog Joey. As you can tell, you can't really tell what breed he is. We actually have a DNA test sent out on him right now, and I'm really excited to find out what breeds he is. Joey was a rescue. He has some distinctive colorings. If I turn in this way, you can see his face and his ears are definitely unique, which is one of the best things about mixed breeds. I also have a purebred chocolate lab. You might have seen Sadie in some of my video reviews. And then I have a beagle mix. Her name is Molly. She looks exactly like a beagle. So a lot of people think she's a purebred, but she's actually half beagle, half cocker spaniel. She's a mixed breed. So I often get the question, which is better, mixed breed or purebred? And in my personal opinion, there really isn't a better option. It depends on what you're looking for in a dog and a canine companion. So, you know, there really, I don't think is a choice between which is better, but there's certainly an answer to which is better for certain people. So I'm gonna go through some of the things that I talk about with people when they ask me whether mixed breed or pure breed is the better choice. So first of all, a purebred is a canine whose parents are of the same breed. If there are papers documenting that the heritage of the dog is the same, then they can be registered as a pedigreed purebred. And then, you know, it's documented that for generations and generations, this dog has been bred from the same breed. The pros for purebreds is that you can predict what they're going to be like. Even if you get a brand new puppy, you can tell what certain breeds are going to be like because of the kind of average size, color, look, the average temperament. So you can learn a lot about a dog by knowing the breed that it is. And if predictability is something that you really need, definitely, you know, a purebred is a better option. Purebred dogs can also compete in a lot of dog shows. So if you're looking into getting into the dog show circuit, breeders, you know, if you're thinking about starting a dog breeding business, you know, this is where you're going to have to go with a purebred dog. Cons are that there are certain behaviors that are bred into purebred dogs. Most of the time we think of these dogs as like working dogs. Breeds such as German Shepherds, hounds, certain breeds of hunting dogs, dogs that are bred for working are typically higher energy. They are a lot more high maintenance. They may bark more. They may be more protective, which means you could have issues with aggression with strangers. So, you know, these breeds are bred for a purpose, and if you're not using them for that purpose, you may notice that you're running into some behavior issues there, because, you know, the dog is born to do something, and when they don't get what they need, you may notice behavior issues. You may notice they get bored easily. You may notice issues with high energy, so they might become anxious. They might be destructive when they don't get to burn that energy. So that's something to watch with purebreds. Purebreds are also more expensive to buy. Whether you adopt them from a breeder, you know, or get them from a rescue that specifically deals with that breed, they're going to be more expensive to adopt. So keep that in mind as well. Mixed breeds are dogs with no pedigree whose parents are not the same breed. So like my beagle Molly, her dad was a cocker spaniel, her mom was a beagle. So she's still a mixed breed, but I know what breed she is. Then we have Joey. He's a prime example of a Heinz 57 mixed breed. I have no idea what he is. He is a mix of many different breeds. And so that leads to some unpredictability. With Molly, there's only 2 breeds. You know, we can kind of guess she's going to be similar to one or the other in temperament. As I mentioned, she looks just like a beagle, so you can usually say they're going to be one way or the other looks-wise. But when you get a dog like Joey that's got lots of different breeds, you just don't know. So that's definitely one of the drawbacks. As I mentioned, they're not allowed to compete in, you know, bigger dog shows. There are some smaller circuits that are starting with mixed breeds, and some of the showings that are more for like agility and things like that, you know, you can enter a mixed breed, but actual pedigreed dog shows, your mixed breed's not going to be allowed. they also might not have the traits you're looking for. I don't know what Joey is. We didn't know what to expect when we adopted him. So, you know, that could go either way. He turned out to be a great fit for our family, but it very easily could have gone the other way, you know, because he has some traits that we just don't know about. But the benefits to a mixed breed dog, as I mentioned, Joey has this really unique, great look. He's super cute and soft. And so, you know, he really, everywhere we go, everybody's like, what breed is he? What breed is he? So, you know, that's really nice to have that kind of unique look. And they are much cheaper to adopt, whether you adopt them from a breeder, whether you adopt them from a shelter, they are much cheaper to adopt. So those are great. A lot of people ask me about the health. If you click the link below this video, I go into a lot more detail about that because there are some scientific studies and things that have been done to show these things that I'm going to talk about really quickly. But if you want more information, just click the link below the video. So mixed breeds are not necessarily healthier. I think that's a misconception that a lot of people think, that purebreds aren't as healthy, but that's not necessarily true. So like a golden doodle, you know, they are a mix between a golden retriever and a poodle. So they actually can get some of the genetic health conditions from both of those breeds into your mixed breed dog. So it's not always the case that they're healthier. There was a study done recently by UC Davis, 15-year study. So they looked at these dogs for 15 years. That's a really long study with a lot of great information. They studied 27,000 dogs, a little bit over 27,000 dogs actually, with inherited disorders including cancer, cardiac issues, endocrine disorders, and orthopedic conditions like arthritis, hip dysplasia. So they studied a ton of dogs over a very long period of time. So this research is really credible for those reasons. Of the 24 disorders that they studied, 13 had about the same occurrence in purebreds as they did in mixed breeds. 10 of the diseases that they watched were more prevalent in purebred dogs. And again, click the link below the video and that will take you to my written guide, which has those disorders. And so you can get some of those specifics. I'm not going to list them all here in the video, but just know that 10 of those were found to be more common in purebreds. So this research proves that purebreds are more prone to some conditions, but not all. So it's really hard to make a generalization and say that purebreds are less healthy than mixed breeds because it really depends on the conditions and the breeds that they're mixed with. Basically, my advice is don't look purebred versus mixed breed, but choose a dog that's right for you. And I've actually made a video guide on that subject that goes into details and gives you a list of like questions that you can ask yourself to try to find the dog that's going to be right for you. So choose a dog that's going to be best for your lifestyle, your budget, and that's going to have those ideal qualities that you want. For example, Joey's a smaller dog. You know, do you want a small dog or a large dog? Do you want a dog that's going to be more active? Do you want a dog that's going to travel well? You know, all of these things are things that you should be considering, but not necessarily whether you need a purebred or a mixed breed. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to email me. Again, click the link below the video. You'll get some great information in my written guide, a lot more details, and it should help answer some of those specific questions you might be having.